Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's me, your girl, and this is Makamas Hangout TV. If you're just joining us for the first time, I want to welcome all of you to NHTV this morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the part of the world. If you can see from our updates, today is all about our Uganda brothers and sisters. And with me in the studio, I've got my co-host, Peter Bello. He's going to be doing justice to, some of the things happening in Uganda because he knows so much. And also, before I start the show, I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you that are following us on Facebook, those of you that have been commenting, sharing our shows and liking us. I want to say thank you very much. And also thank you to all of you that have subscribed to our YouTube channel. Yes, as you all know, we've got our online PIGIN NHTV Reward Season 1 contest. Yes, yes, it started today. Yes, voila, today, the 15th of January, 2015 to the 5th of February. So if you know you've not started sending in your clips, your videos, what you're waiting for, hurry up because there are lots of things for you to win. All you need to do is just to send us 2 to 5 minutes video clips. PIGIN, it's all about PIGIN, you know how we do it here, the PIGIN corner. Yes, 2 to 5 minutes video clips of any PIGIN thing you can do, maybe comedy, yabbies, gist, dance, singing, anything, let it be in PIGIN. Send it to us and on our NHTV, Makamas Hangouts TV at gmail.com, or the phone number you're going to see on the screen there, and we're going to upload it to our channel. And the winner is going to be the person with the highest views. Yes, the person with the highest views is going to go home with 10,000 Naira cash, customized t-shirts, hair time of your choice, and also we'll have the opportunity to come to the studio with me. Let's rub mine together and do some shakara. Yes, so you will call it shakara. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to say thank you very much to all of you. And if you know you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please, what are you waiting for? Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. And for our free airtime, those of you that want to win our free airtime, all you need to do is just go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and then put down your number with a comment ending with "make it possible." And then voila, your airtime is on the phone. Yes, back to today's show. I want to bring in my... Yeah, go ahead.
You don't forget to also make their subscription public so we can see them.
Yes, yes. Don't forget to make your subscription public so that we can see you. Yes, we want to make sure everyone is part of this, reward season, season 1. Yes. And yes, I'm going to bring in my co-host in. Let him introduce himself to us.
All right. Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Yeah, so I'm Bello Peter, just as the host said earlier, and I'm delighted to be here this evening. I'm so happy to be here live on this show once again. My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Good to have you in the show with us today. And today we can see from the screen. Yesterday, it was Uganda's day. You know, Uganda decided, and so many things have been happening in that country. We've got a whole lot of clips, videos here to show you. We've got some pictures also to show you some of the things, the pains that the people there are going through. Yes, let's talk about Uganda today. Peter Bello, where do we start from? What do you think happened yesterday and what's been happening in Uganda?
Well, currently what's happening in Uganda is something that uh, we're not proud to talk about as Africans. Honestly, Museveni is doing a whole lot that can't just, a whole lot, as in shutting down the media and also using military to terrorize the citizens and his opposition party. The person of Bobby Wine is really, really unpolitical. It's more or less a form of a military regime, and this is not what we are. This is not what is happening in Uganda. Uganda is not a military regime; it's a democratic era. But what we are seeing in Uganda is just totally unpolitical, it's undemocratic, and people are crying out in Uganda, but there is no means of them reaching out to the international world. There are no international observers over there during the election, and it's quite it's so disheartening. It's sad. As in looking at what's happening in Uganda, the election process is just so untransparent. It's unfair, and I don't think whatever is going to come out from that election is going to be the truth, because what was happening there right now, it seems that there's a whole lot of rigging, there's a whole lot of electoral malpractices going on there, and that's the reason why the incumbent president, the person of Museveni, has decided to shut down the media, has decided to use his military, which has Arsenal anyhow he likes. This is totally unacceptable to people, and this is totally unacceptable to we Africans.
Yeah, you're right. And well, why? Because some people don't know who Bobby Wine is. Bobby Wine, well, as we all know, it's a musician turned politician. He's
Yeah,
also a
was once an MP.
yeah, and a social activist. And he's just 38 years old.
Exactly. He was just 4 years old when this Museveni came into power in 1986.
So you can imagine. And the Museveni has been in power for like almost 35 years now.
Almost 35 years now. He's been in power and doesn't want to leave power. We begin to ask ourselves, what exactly do all these African politicians, what are they looking for in power? Why are they so much engrossed in this political office? They want to die there, they want to live there, they want to make there their home, they want to make the political office maybe a monarchical one, something they can hand over to their family. We don't know what their target is, we don't know what their problem is actually. This is totally unacceptable to Africans, and it's totally unacceptable to everyone, both in Uganda and outside Uganda.
Yeah, and we can from what we've read, what we've seen, we can see this Museveni as is known as a dictator in Uganda.
Honestly, he is. He's more than a dictator, honestly. Museveni is actually more than a dictator, because he's doing more terrible things than Idi Amin did, who he opposed back there while he was in power in Wobete. This kind of person, we do not expect them to do things like this, considering how they came into power. As in, they knew the reason why they came into office. They are looking at what happened. They came as a savior. The people saw them as savior, thinking they will do better. But at the end of the day, they are doing worse than their predecessor. So we begin to question ourselves. This makes us to question the character of the incoming, leaders, to question our future. We don't know what Africa, or we don't know what the future holds for Africa anymore. If you're having people like this who don't understand where they are coming from, and we as citizens, we don't understand where we are going to, having people like this still existing in Africa.
And where this Museveni is he's about 76 years old.
Yeah, he is.
And he's been in power since 1986. He
You
actually
can
took over
imagine.
from Idi Amin, from the fall of Idi Amin. He was the immediately after Idi Amin, he took power in 1986. And we also heard that Oh God, this guy, he's terrible. He's he's terrible because
Honestly, he is.
from the
He,
things we've seen, he's running the country like, he's running the country like a family business with the wife and the son. And people are saying it's maybe the way he's going about it is either he's going to hand it over to the wife or the son. And how do you think the people of Uganda are going to take this?
she honestly, what we are seeing happening in Uganda is totally unpolitical, because looking at what is happening currently, we see so many things going wrong, and all this started way back to the time when Museveni actually abolished the age limit bill. That was when we got to know that Museveni had a lot in his cupboard, because the age limit bill was something that would have pushed him out of the election, but he had to abolish that bill to pave way for himself to still, run for this election. And that is the reason why he's still able to contest at this his age. By now he should be retired from politics or retired from whatever business he's into, and
Yeah.
go do something better. But it's so sad that we want to end his political career shamefully, as in you're going to end his political career with big shame, as in nothing, no legacy will be left behind, because what he's actually doing right now is not what he's supposed to do. And that is why we're having somebody like Bobby Wine, who was a politician. He had to turn, into he was a musician. He had to turn into a politician just to rescue his nation from
Yeah.
the hands of these tyrants. He had to leave his music and go into politics just to, ensure that the common Ugandan who is living on the street is able to have a future, because he understood what those people were passing through in the hands of Museveni, and that's why he went into politics, and that's the reason why he's contested for presidency several times. This Museveni has sent the military to arrest him, to
Been
brutalize him. On
detained.
several occasions, he has been arrested. Yeah, on several occasions, he has been arrested. On several occasions, he has been detained. And while he's been detained, he's been brutalized in the cell. His wife goes through the same thing. His family, his friends, his close ones. You can imagine everyone who is joining his cause to demand for a nation whereby the fundamental human rights of the citizen is being respected is just being brutalized for no just reason. It's totally unacceptable. It's against the constitutional human rights of every citizen anywhere in the world. And currently, we can see Uganda do not have the freedom which they are supposed to be enjoying today as citizens of a state. They are not enjoying that freedom at all. You see them; they have to wait for the dictates of their own president, which is supposed to be so. You can see the abuse of military here and there. You can see just of recent, we saw how military personnel rounded up his house, as in they
Yeah,
restricted him
no,
from
yesterday and
movement. And
today. Yeah.
recent, we got tweets from him that some men armed went into his building and he is under siege. You see, a lot of things is happening in Uganda presently that we don't even know. A lot of things are happening that we don't even know at the moment, because there is no way to communicate. There's no way to get information from Uganda. What we keep seeing are clips that are being repeatedly played. So we are not really getting tangible information from Uganda presently, because the president has decided to boycott. The president decided to shut down the media and all that. And this is just totally unacceptable when people do not have their freedom of speech anymore. This is taking away their main constitutional freedom, their main constitutional rights. This is totally unacceptable.
And we also had that few days to the election. That was when they now switch off the internet. So no, even because even the voting was meant to be electronic, but because the internet is not working, they had to result to manually. And things, a lot of malpractices, things are just going upside down under barely 48. It's not even up to 48 hours. They're giving us results. NS is it N one of the radio NBS TV already came out a few hours after the election to announce that Museveni was actually leading. So it's obvious, it's glaring that this is wrong. This is not an election. There's something else behind it. And Bobby Wine has been, like you said before, has been brutalized, arrested, gone to prison. And he has also lost close ones, his comrades. 2 days before the election, he did a burial of one of the comrades. The brother is being detained. The mother is in coma. The friends, some are dead. Some are in the prison. Even his personal security secretary is still missing. She was picked up some days ago, and up till now, they don't know her whereabouts. So his seeking is terrible. They've tried
Honestly, it
killing him,
is.
attempted murder. He's lost his driver, his bodyguard. And these people are not just, they don't care. They don't see anything wrong with this. And the Ugandans are living in fear. They can't
Hello.
even talk. They can't speak, because if you talk, you die. They are so scared of their life. But one thing I like them for, even the old ones are out. They help behind Bobby Wine. With all the brutality, with all the things happening, to him and the family, is still going ahead, is still forging ahead, because somebody have to make that way. Somebody have to pave that way. They can't all live in fear like that. So it's really, really terrible. It's so sad seeing all these things happening,
Yeah.
and of recent, a day or 2 days before the election, I think it's had personal security guard for 12 years. Can you tell us a little bit about that, please?
I didn't hear you. Your
Hello.
network is kind of breaking now, so
Okay, sorry. I
can't
said
really get you from here.
can you tell us a little bit about because he came out to tweet some days ago that his personal guards were being called off just a few days to the election. His personal security is because for 12 years they said he's been having personal guards or something. Do you want to tell us more about that? Can you hear me?
Well,
Hello.
I can't really hear you from here. But if I did hear you at all, I guess you're talking about what happened to security aids and all that, which was
Yes.
I guess you're talking about what happened to security aid. Well,
Yes.
there was a post which went viral, which came from him regarding his personal security guard, which he has been for the past 12 years, being disarmed and forced to leave him alone. I guess this is part of the work of President Museveni. He must have been the one who instigated that. He must have influenced the security body to take away their gas, so that he and his he and his military can have their way in dealing with Bobby Wine without anybody disturbing them at all. I guess that's the reason why I want to take up those guys, because that is the only saving grace Bobby Wine has been enjoying. They've been the one protecting him all his time during the campaign. Several assassination attempts has taken place trying to kill this guy for no just reason, and that is the reason why most time when he goes out on campaign, you see him putting on the bulletproof so that he doesn't just receive any straight bullets and is dead. That's the reason why he puts on the uh, the bulletproof to protect him, because there has been assassination attempts on him, and most of his friends who were not able to get this private security, they are dead. If you check very well, most of his supporters, many are dead, many are in detention. Those who the light is not shining on, those who are not known to the public, those who are not recognized. There are so many people who are suffering just because they are fighting for a better Uganda. There's so many people who are being brutalized just because they are fighting for a better Uganda, and there are so many people who are still in detention till today. If I start mentioning their name now, we will not leave the station today. There are so many of them right now. If only Museveni is being removed from power today, you will see so many people that will start coming out from detention from different angle, that they'll be released back to their family. And you begin to ask yourself, why are blacks doing this to themselves? You begin to ask yourself, why are black leaders so engrossed? Why are black leaders so wicked? Why are black leaders, though we say that power corrupt, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. But in the case of Museveni, this is not being corrupt with power. This is being wicked with power. Museveni is totally being wicked with power. It's no longer a human being at all, because for him to just pick up somebody for the street for no just reason, brutalize a person for no just reason, so many things ongoing in in Uganda that is not supposed to be so, and it's terrible. Honestly, it's terrible, and we just pray that nothing happens to Bobby Wine, because he seems to be the only one who is capable of, taking out this Museveni from power. He seems to be the only one speaking the truth. He seems to be the only one standing for Uganda at the moment. And if this man should fall, it will be very difficult for another person to rise again, because they will be so scared that what happened to Bobby Wine might happen to them. So we really pray that nothing happens to Bobby Wine, and we are really praying, and we are really wishing if the international community can assist in this situation. And I so much I ask myself, what exactly is the African Union doing? What exactly are these regional bodies doing? What are they doing? Look at what is happening at Uganda, and none of them are doing anything. Are they waiting till where all the old Ugandans are being slaughtered? Are they waiting till when Uganda no longer has the fundamental human right they're supposed to enjoy anymore? Are they waiting till world Uganda is totally massacred? What exactly are these our regional bodies waiting for? What are the AU waiting for? And what is really happening in Africa? We ask ourselves this question: why are Africans treating Africans less than what we're supposed to be treated as? When we were in the slave trade era, when we're still in the slave trade era, or we're in a military regime, we're still in a military regime. But why should this happen again in a democratic regime? That's the question we are asking, and that's the question we have not still been able to answer.
It's it's so sad. It's so sad, you know. If you're just joining us, this is NH TV, and today we're talking about the Uganda. It's all about the Uganda today. They had their election yesterday, and a lot has been happening. And with me in the studio, I've got my co-host Peter Bello, and also you're welcome to call in the show and contribute to the show. If you've got anything to say, whatever contribution you've got, just feel free to call in. You can see from the pictures some of the people that have, his comrades that have been brutalized, and still these people are diehard because they are tired. If they don't fight, if they decide to go sit home and just, they can't even sit at home. It's brutality all the way, because we're told this morning from one of the interview that I watched. They said Museveni, even the soldiers, the military working with him, he's even disappointed. The Ugandan's military. He had to go all the way to neighboring country like Rwanda and all the Mali to bring in extra machineries. Is this necessary?
At all. It's not necessary. If you ask me, it's not necessary. See, the problem we're having with these our leaders is that they are scared of what will happen to them once they leave office. They don't know what actually might happen. So that is why they want to die in that office. That's why they still want to keep that office, because they know they've done a lot of they've done too many things that they cannot just say to the public. And so they want to cover their secret till they die. So because of the high level of corruption, because of the high level of embezzlement, because of the high level of abuse of power, they want to do everything possible to ensure that they are still in office. So I guess that is the same situation with the person of Museveni in Uganda presently. That is why he's doing everything possible to ensure that he's still keeping his head. Because I believe once he lose that office, once he lose his political power, he's gonna lose so many things. So I believe he's just trying to protect everything he has, and that is what is wrong with all our African leaders till today. Many of them are just trying to kill themselves in office. They want to die there, they want to live there, they want to make it their home, because they've engaged in so many corrupt practices, and this is not supposed to be so. As Africans, what we are supposed to be doing right now is building Africa, building a united Africa, building an African that can speak for an African, building what we ought to be doing now is building our country, building ourselves, not we trying to rob ourselves after what has happened to us many years ago. Not we trying to rob ourselves just a few years after independence. Not we trying to rob ourselves when the whites are still treating the blacks, as inferior. No, when the white people out there are not respecting blacks because of the way blacks are treating blacks. And this is not supposed to. So we are sending the wrong message out to the Western world, to the European nations, and this is all because our African leaders have failed as leaders, which they are supposed to be. And that is why you see the social media has helped in waking many of the youth up. The social media has helped, in actually encouraging youth to go into politics, and it has helped reduce the level of political apathy. Because before now, the level of political apathy all over Africa was very high. People were no longer interested in politics. Even presently, looking at what is happening, knowing that their votes do not count. At the end of the day, all these politicians get to, use their power to rig elections and all that. A lot of people are political apathetic. They don't want to go to election for to vote, either because they are scared, either because they feel that their vote will not count. All this is because of what is actually happening in Africa. And we are surprised when we see this happen in the United States, to tell you that nobody is exempted for what is happening actually.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
if the United States President Donald Trump is trying to still hold on to power even after he has been the election result has been declared, and he has been told to pack out of office very soon, he still feel he can still keep himself in office, trying to use every means possible at his arsenal. You see, I don't know why everybody, whenever they get into office, they don't want to live there anymore. I don't know if that office is just so I don't know what to say, if it's enchanting, or I don't know how to put it now, because being politically, I don't know what to put, honestly. Honestly, I don't know what to say, because once your time in office is over, you're supposed to leave there. But we see all these people, they don't want to live there anymore. They want to remain there forever, and it's quite sad. Many of his pictures they are saying, you keep on seeing him on bulletproof. You see him wearing that jacket just to
Yes.
protect his life.
Yes.
Imagine a man in his own country while
Yeah.
while
Listen.
campaigning is trying. Oh, it's sad. This is not how Africa is supposed to be. It's sad.
I tell you, and because of this, that is why this other people, other colors, they refuse to take us serious. That's why, because they've seen that we don't love ourselves. We know we're not united. We're not ready to be together. That's why they don't take us serious. They take Africa as a dumping ground. You can imagine the vaccine and the whole lot that is going on, all the videos we're seeing, wanting to use the vaccines in Africa is not allowed to be used in America and Europe, but you can use it in Africa. They want to turn us to the guinea pig to use, and our leaders, they refuse to see this. They don't, they just power drunk. United Nation and the African Unity, they're not showing concern. They don't care. They just care about the vaccine, and I don't know what to say. It's really terrible, because if we don't love ourselves, if we don't appreciate ourselves, if we don't see ourselves as human beings, nobody will see us as human beings. Nobody will appreciate us. Nobody. You need to appreciate yourself before someone else will come and appreciate you.
Honestly, you need to.
We've missed it.
That's
Our leaders, they've missed it. Once they get to that seat, it's like there is something there, a glue. Once they are there, they don't want to get up again. They don't want to leave again. I'm saying, Museveni, you've been there for almost 35 years. What do you have to offer that you didn't offer your first term, your second term?
honestly
Excuse
that's the
me, to your
question.
first? You did.
I
So what
wonder
is
what
it you want to offer now?
I wonder what he wants to offer that he's still trying to offer. Because and what is he trying to gain that he has not gained? You see, we begin to ask ourselves. So the only thing left for him that is still making him to hold on to power is trying to protect what he has acquired over the years. Because human beings have three characters. They have this desire to acquire something, and when they acquire this something, they use this. They have another sense of showing off with what they have so much acquired. And when they are showing off with all these they have acquired, they have the third sense, according to Plato, which is to protect everything they have acquired. So Museveni has acquired a lot. He has shown off what he has acquired, and what he's doing presently is just to protect everything he has acquired. That is why he's doing everything humanly possible to make sure that he keeps
For
himself in power.
For
In
how
power
long?
till
And
when
for how
that's
long? Till that
that's
means
the
he wants to die there till death takes him away. He doesn't want to
that's the
face the
I remember watching an interview that was granted to Bobby Wine on Al Jazeera. Uh, the host asked him that, for how long do you think Museveni wants to remain in power? Do you think he want to remain in power till that? And he was like, he doesn't know. Maybe he wants to hand over power to his wife. We don't know. Maybe after being there for a very long time, he wants to hand over power to his wife, or he wants to be there till till after life. Maybe after he dies, he wants to remain in power. We don't know, but Uganda needs to wake up to change whatever fate they're experiencing right now. They need to change their fate. They need to take the decision into their hands. They need to remove this man from power at whatever cost. But looking at what is going on presently in Uganda, we don't know what's going to happen because the election is not transparent enough to the public. We don't know what's going on with the electoral body there. If they are not under threat, if they are not being influenced, so many things can influence this result. It's not just all about the people going out to vote. It's when the electoral commission are not transparent enough, if they are not doing their job independently, definitely the election result can be rigged. And them not using the app which was supposed to be used tells us that whatever is going to be the result, it's not going to be in favor of the people, but in favor of whoever is controlling the gun, whoever is controlling power in that state.
Yeah, because even some few hours ago, Bobby Wine has come out to reject the results. Because it's glaring, it's there in the face. A lot of people have been intimidated. You can see, you see the kind of people that okay, like if you see from the video there, just yesterday's election, a police officer trying, to snatch away the ballot box. And the youths there are like, no, enough is enough, because they are tired. Most of them, yesterday we had over 30 people died in that yesterday's election.
Honestly, that is just a tip of the iceberg. If only the media was not shut down, would have seen a whole lot. Would
A
have seen
whole
a
lot.
whole lot. The media was shut down to tell you that we're not able to get enough data concerning what happened there. The information will go were just the few one which were able to just come out secretly to the public. Those were the few one we're able to get, and you can imagine if we do investigation into what happened in the Uganda election yesterday, 14th of January 2021, you see that what happened there wasn't an election. There were so many suicide missions that went on there. So many things happened, so many abuse of power. It was more or less of a power tussle. So what happened there? Oh God, it's a big disgrace. It's a big disgrace to black. If at
Yes,
this century we are still having this kind of issue in our country,
in
it's
this
it's really
modern day.
it's really sad. It's sad.
Very, very sad. And if you can see, Bobby Band, everybody now fears for his life, because even before the election, everywhere he goes to, you see the man there, the all marks, with gun, always tailing him. He's not, so many things fired at him. He can't move. He said he went to a city for campaign or something. They didn't allow him to sleep there. He was chased out from 3 different cities. If
I don't
he was able to get a place accommodation from one of his friends' hotel, and that was where his driver was shot dead. He was lucky to have escaped that.
Honestly, Bobby Wine has suffered a lot. He has suffered a lot just to ensure that the people of Uganda, have a better future. He has suffered a lot, and you won't believe his music have been banned all over the country. He can't hold concerts. He can His music is not allowed to be played anywhere. Then you imagine what is the government trying to gain out of it? Telling people not to play his music. He can't hold concert. He can't do show. He can't do this. He can't hold. He's not allowed to hold gathering in some certain place. Even the constituency that elected him, he said he's not permitted to hold gathering with them. You know, he has been denied so many constitutional rights that he ought to enjoy freely without any restriction. But this is not the case in Uganda. This is not the case with Bobby Wine. This is not the case with the citizen of Uganda. It's more or less being in prison. It's more or less being in a military regime. Yet these people, this Museveni says is being democratic. I don't know what he's trying to say. I don't know who he's trying to deceive. Well, if he can deceive others, he can deceive me. And if he can lie to the public, he can lie to me, because we are seeing things glaringly with our own eyes. So it's terrible. What's happening in Uganda presently is terrible. I don't know what the future will be for Bobby Wine if he doesn't win this election. I don't know what the future will be for every supporter of Bobby Wine if he should lose this election, because so many lives are at stake right now. Many people who have decided to go against Museveni to support Bobby Wine, and their lives are at stake if this election go in favor of Museveni. So many things are going to go wrong the more if this man happens to be declared the winner of the 2021 election in Uganda. And it will not be nice at all if he should emerge the winner.
We've got something just came in from Pan Africa an hour ago. Is that you update Uganda President Yoweri Museveni 76 leads with 4,470,820 votes, which is 62.23%, while opposition front runner and NUP presidential candidate Bobby Wine 38 has gained but is still trailing with 1,993,236 million votes, which is 30.64%, according to Electoral Commission (EC) sixth batch of provisional results. Then, however, Bobby Wine rejected the results, calling them fake, and that Electoral Commission (EC) chairperson Justice Simon Yabakama had disdainfully ignored malpractices that occurred during elections, including those at the expense of armed forces. You can imagine the gap. They're already declaring him.
You
You
can
can
imagine.
imagine.
Just look at it now. How can somebody who is so unpopular, who is who the people resent so much, who the people do not want anymore, is having this huge amount of votes at this moment. Even the election that held even an election between two popular candidates doesn't come out like this. You can imagine somebody who is so unpopular, who the people no longer want, and who didn't campaign as much as Bobby Wine did, is having that kind of amount of vote at the end of the day. To tell you that something is wrong somewhere, whatever result is coming out is not genuine, it's fake, and that is why Bobby Wine is denying or rejecting that result. Everyone is rejecting that result. I myself am rejecting that result. That result is not the original result. They should go back to the field and conduct another election. Whatever election Uganda felt they had yesterday was an election. Uganda needs a new election, an election that is transparent, an election whereby there will be observers, an election whereby the media should be working, an election whereby everybody should be watching from their home, and the international body is there also watching. Let us see the election going on live on different platforms. Then we'll believe that election actually took place in Uganda. For now, we do not believe that there was an election in Uganda, because what happened, there was an election, was just a form of it was just a political practice. Maybe they're practicing for the re-election and not the real one that's supposed to be, because that isn't an election at all.
I'll tell you. If you're just joining us, this is NHTV, and with me in the studio is my co-host Peter Bello. And today we're looking at Uganda, because yesterday Ugandans they took to the pool to decide, but a lot of things have been happening. And I have information here. They said if anyone watching us, if you're from Uganda, or you know someone that is from Uganda, please feel free to contact us. The number is going to be on the screen very soon, because if you're in the UK here, there are there's an organization that wants to see what they can do way forward, because we just can't sit down like this and watch our brothers and sisters being killed every day. And some
Slaughter.
people are saying, yes, some people are saying, oh, okay, Bobby Wine should just accept the defeat, and he's got more years ahead of him, to come up. This guy is not ready to go. For how long? How old was Obama when he was the American president? How old is the French French
Person.
president, and a whole lot. So why would someone just say because you've got you're still young, just sit down? When Museveni was the president, how old was he? So what are they saying? These people, they need to go sit down, they need to take a bow and leave and let those young ones. And I just fear for this guy's life. I don't want anything to happen to him and the family, because I've never seen someone like him. I call him another Mandela. I see the spirit of Mandela in him. Honestly, Mandela, we understood, was with the whites, you understand? But Bobby Wine is no one has ever faced this Museveni. Everyone that went on the train with him, they all came down. But this young guy, this 38 years old guy, is still taking the bull by the horn and is glaring everybody. You can see everywhere he goes to, people love him. Men and women, old and young, they love him, they want him, and Museveni is afraid. I was calling he's a coward, because if you're not a coward, you're not going to shut down the internet of the country. The country is in all blackouts. They don't know what is happening. Do you understand? You're not going to send people to start intimidating. Even your militaries, they're even tired to the extent you had to go outside neighboring countries to get machineries to work for you. I mean, he should just take a bow and leave. What is he looking for? And we're told that they did give the EU opportunity to come and, observe the election. Even the US, at the end of the day, had to, step down because they keep denying them accreditation.
Yeah, honestly, it's sad looking at all what you have presented. It's it's just somehow, honestly,
But because
Uganda
they,
are
they
seriously in
planned
trouble.
they planned to rig the election, I'm sure that was why they had to turn off the switch of the media so that they can.
Honestly, except that that's the only reason why you can shut down the media. And there was a time he did that earlier, and when the information went viral, so many there was I guess a protest here and there in regards to that, and he blamed the Facebook for shutting down the media, and that issue was trashed anyway. But first of all, I want to commend the organization that is initiating the idea of bringing together all the Ugandans to engage in a protest or in a march for Ugandans. I
Yes.
must appreciate that organization. It's a very great move. It's what we need at a time like this. Exactly what the African Union, the United Nations, and whatever body seems to have the interest of African art are supposed to do at this moment. At this moment, leaders from Africa, from different countries, are supposed to, uh, you know, order an emergency meeting and say, come on, let's come together. What's happening? Let's look for a way to put things together and together. This is supposed to be so. What is happening here? But everyone is just minding their own business, and that is not. Though we understand the fact that there's COVID-19 here and there, and everybody is trying to put the country in order because of the COVID-19, but that doesn't mean
Things
at a
cannot be
point like
done.
this, yeah, at a point like this, a delegation cannot be sent, no representative can be sent, nobody is, saying something concerning what's happening. You can't call your neighboring president to order. As African, we all to look out for each other. But this is not happening. You know, if my own president here in Nigeria doesn't even know what's happening in the whole world, like I don't even talk about him at all. So looking at what is happening in Africa, we still blame ourselves because we are not, looking out for each other. And that is why I'm commending the organization, the one to bring all the Ugandans together to go for a match. I must say they need to do this at this point. They need it. Our Ugandans need it, and Uganda will appreciate that move. And every Uganda who is watching this video, you need to make it possible. You need to come together. We need to speak for Uganda. And we need to do something more than marching together. We need to actually take up this fight. We need to take this fight to the end to ensure that every Uganda is free, and Uganda once again regain its freedom and regain the Uganda which the ones dreamt of.
Yeah, you're right. And that takes us to this because, when things like this happen, we are quick to react, we do things 2, 3 weeks maximum. Everyone goes back and then to their shell. And that is why these people keep oppressing us. If things can be strategized, do you understand? Excuse me.
Yeah.
If things can be strategy well planned, that any plan that is being carried out, any strategy must from the beginning to the end, we must see the end of it. Because when we start, I found out that when we start, we just start it, the way it's just fresh and new, 2, 3 weeks maximum, everybody goes back. And then these people keep doing the same thing. So they've realized it, I don't mind them. I'll give them 2, 3 weeks. Ah, yes, they all come down. No, we just need to put a very good strategy down and then work with it, carry out the plan very well. Because, and I'm just saying, not only Ugandans, the all Africans, we need to come together because it's happening in all parts of Africa, almost all the African countries. Take, for example, Cameroon. The same thing. The man has been there for donkey years and is
Honestly, the
not
same thing
ready to
happened in
leave.
Zimbabwe until Robert Mugabe was, removed. He wanted to hand over to his wife. And you see, it's just so funny what's happening in Africa, honestly. I must tell you. You keep on looking at each country in Africa, you see people who don't want to leave power. I wonder why this is so. African leaders, once they go into power, they don't want to live there, and that's why you see people, they are so political pathetic that they don't want to vote for anybody anymore, because if you want this one get there, it's going to take care of his stomach infrastructure. You know, talk about it's going to take care of his own business. So why do I need to vote for him? At the end of the day, it won't it won't it won't be bothered about what happened to him or her, after winning the election. And that is why we have so many political apathetic people in the country in Africa today. And it's so sad. But we thank God for the youth of nowadays who are waking up to responsibility and who are still taking the bull by the horn to change these norms, to change whatever is happening in Africa as a whole, and whatever is happening in our country.
Yeah. If you're just joining us, this is NHTV. Please share the program. Share, share, share. Please share the program because we want it to go far. We want it to reach a lot of people. And especially if you know any Ugandan family or friends, send it to them. And I will appreciate if they can contact us. Let me just put the number on the screen. And feel free if you have any contribution, to call in, and if they can contact us, because there is an organization that want to see what they can do, because we all can sit down like this and keep watching for how long people are dying per seconds every day. So please share this program, send in your contributions, call in, and and say whatever thing, what you feel to this. And the leaders are, I don't know. These people are just wicked. They're just wicked. I see them as extra, judiciary mothers, just killing people, just murdering
Yeah,
people the way they like. Yeah,
just the same way
and it's
DME
abuse of
was
power and
nicknamed.
fundamental human rights. It's
Honestly,
it's
it
it's
is.
uncalled for. It's not it's
It is.
uncalled for. You know, we just can't, and we can't continue this way. A lot of people, we have the generation coming. Yeah, they've done this in the past, but the new generations are saying enough is enough. You understand? And if this
Yeah.
Museveni at the end of the day is announced the winner, trust me, Uganda is going to be worse than ever in everything. It's going to be worse than before.
Honestly, it's gonna be because we do not see a better future with Museveni presently. What we're saying is that there'll be a lot of political chaos, a lot of political crisis, more of protest. So Ghana's gonna experience more of political instability and its economy. Even as at now, its economy is not thriving well. When you compare Uganda economy with other nation in the world, you see Uganda is still lagging behind. When you and looking at what is happening politically, it's unstable. And when you look at so many other things about Uganda, Uganda is not doing fine at the moment. And what Uganda need is not an old man to keep on running the affairs of the state. What Uganda needs is a fresh blood, a fresh idea, somebody with new ideology and new ideas to take over the steering and drive Uganda to its land of El Dorado, to a better state which the citizens are demanding for, and not this tyrant who calls himself a president. Just the way Idi Amin was nicknamed the butcher of Uganda. I'm gonna nickname this man the killer of Uganda because he has killed a lot and he has killed many dreams of Ugandans. Is more or less a killer than a president of Uganda currently. And I don't know, I don't know what to say about those who are still supporting Museveni and those who are against Bobby Wine. Well, I do not blame them. It's the way they think, it's the way they say. Probably it's the
Living
what
in
it
fear.
depends on what they're. Yeah, probably they have been intimidated or oppressed, and they do not want to speak the truth, or probably they are benefiting from his regime one way or the other. We are entitled to our own opinion and our own ideas, so I leave them to speak their mind. Just the way Museveni is supposed to leave others to speak their mind. It's supposed to be a freedom of speech and a freedom of association, and let the people decide what they really want and not deciding for the people. Presently, Museveni is deciding for the people of
Good.
Uganda, and this is not supposed to be so. So we as Africa, we need to rise up. According to Professor Lumumba, he said we need to pray for Uganda, we need to work together with Uganda, we need to stand for Uganda at this point. So what we need to do as Africa, let us rise up. If you're Nigerian, if you're Ghanaian, if you come from the Cameroon, if you're from South Africa, wherever you are, we need to work together as Africans to liberate Uganda, to to speak for Uganda, to ensure Uganda have a better future, and to ensure Uganda is once again a country that is democratic and not what you're seeing in Uganda presently.
Yeah, and I'm sure the Ugandans are tired of the dictatorship, and that's why they're not giving up. You know, both you see, both the old and the young, they're out there. They're just standing behind Bobby Wire because they see him as a new Messiah, the person that can, take them, to the promised land, that can bring them out from this, slavery that they are in. And you do realize that 68% of Ugandans are poor, and the mortality rate is very high. The rate of mothers that die during childbirth is very, very high. And someone is just
Honestly,
sitting down there, don't care.
that is the problem. That is the reason. Those were the things that motivated Bobby Wine to leave his music career and go into politics. When I watched his video on what motivated him, I became interested in him and I wanted to know more about him. And I got to understand that he wasn't even in line of politics until when he saw what people were going through. He spoke about owning a car and the way people looked at him and all that. And he got to realize that there are a lot of people suffering in this country. There are a lot of people who do not have the number of have not is far more than the numbers of those who have, and that was the reason why he decided to leave his musical career and go into politics. He started by being an MP. He felt going to the parliament, it could influence the decision of the government. He felt he could influence the government. He felt he could change things. But on get to the parliament, he tried his best and he did suffer a lot. So many difficulty in trying to influence the decision of the parliament and all that. And people came to him and said, "Guy, if you want to really change this country, you need to run for presidency. You need to be the president of the country before you can change the fate of Uganda." And that was when Bobby Wine started to go for president, and that's why he started to campaign for this. It's not as if he had the idea of being a president at first. He went through the parliament thinking he could change it from that angle. He saw that it's not working from that angle. The problem from the presidency. Then he started to face the presidency, and now that he's facing the president, the president is giving him tough time, not just politically. He also face him politically and an election round by words or through the legal process. But the way he's facing him in return is something that is not known to the public. He's making use of the military, he's abusing him, so many things. Just as he is a dictator, as we already know. So he's just using the military as his arsenal since he's the president and the head of the state is just using the military and his power anyhow on the citizen, and just terrorizing, is oppressing the people, is intimidating the people, and is denying the people their constitutional human right, which is not supposed to be so. And the parliament are just nothing but a toothless bulldog who cannot take any serious action against him. And this is sad. This is not supposed to be so. A lot needs to be done in Uganda. I must tell you, a lot needs to be done.
Yeah, you said it. Oh, Bello Peter, thank you very much for coming on the show with me. I'm gonna let you go now, and then I've got
Right.
videos. Like I said, I've got videos to show, to the audience. Some of the things that the Ugandans they've been going through. Some I'll just play just a little bit, so, short clips for you to see, and even the wife, how she was brutalized, on her way to the campaign rally, and they strip her naked. You can imagine who does that. So I'm just gonna show
That
you
was one
some
of the
short clips.
embarrassing, yeah,
Very
that's
embarrassing.
one of
That's
the
I'm just gonna
embarrassing video I've watched so far. To see the wife
yes,
of an aspirant, a presidential candidate, being embarrassed, humiliated, and it's a high level of
exactly.
humiliation. I can't imagine you trying to arrest a person and you have to drag the person. Don't you invite people to the station? Don't you have
I
other means of arresting people? Must you drag her on the floor? Must you try to forcefully arrest her? Is she a criminal? Has she been found guilty by the court? Is she wanted? You see, so many things just going wrong in Uganda right now that I feel like protesting. I feel like going there to just deal with these people myself personally. But it's so sad. I'm far away from Uganda presently. I would have loved to be there to deal with these people myself, because I can't just tolerate what I watch online sometimes. It's so heartbreaking, and dehumanizing. Honestly, the video I watched concerning
Yes.
the wife of Bob Wine, I must tell you,
Yes.
it's totally unacceptable. It's wrong, honestly. It's quite bad. It's not something I really want to accept at all.
It's really bad, terrible. And as a woman, I felt really, really bad. I felt, I was like, and the son was there crying. The son was there. Leave my mom alone. Leave my right in front of the son.
And
So
people were there
Peter Bello,
watching. They could not do
they were
anything.
there watching. They
Sad.
couldn't do anything. Men and women were there watching. They couldn't do nothing. There's so many ways to arrest someone. Not
To
that's
tell you,
it's really bad. It's really bad. So
I have to tell you
Peter
that there's
Bello,
so much level of fear. There's so much level
yeah,
of fear in the minds of the people
everybody's
that
living in fear.
they can't do anything. Everybody are living in fear. This it's just as if we are back to the state of nature, whereby everybody lives in fear and no one to protect anybody, and every man is against himself. So it's for
It's
himself
terrible.
and against
One word, Peter
every man.
Bello,
Sad.
before you leave us. One word, because I'm going to play the video. One word before you leave to the Ugandan.
Well, presently, one word I have for Uganda is that they shouldn't sheathe their sword yet. They should keep up the fight. They should keep struggling till they get what they want. It's not yet time to go back home. It's not yet time to sleep. They need to keep their eyes widely open because presently Museveni is not ready to give up power. Museveni is still not ready to leave that political field. He's willing to do anything to ensure that he still remains in office. And so for every Uganda, they should be ready to do anything to make sure they get him out of office. If he's ready to do 100, Uganda should be ready to do 200. If he's ready to do 200, Uganda should be ready to do 300. They should be ready to go to any length to defend their vote. They should be ready to go to any length to ensure that who they want is who lead them for the next years to come. They should ensure that they do everything possible to get an Uganda that is working again. And to Bobby Wine, we pray that God keeps him alive and less. And my advice is for every one of you outside there watching, if you know that you love blacks, you are from Africa, let us work together with Uganda. Let us work with them and let us do everything possible to ensure that Uganda enjoys a democratic era once again, and they are free from this tyrant, this dictator known as Museveni that is terrorizing them presently. So a big thank you once again to Makamas Hangout TV for making this possible. We'll say a big thank you to you guys for having this show to talk about what's happening in Ghana right now. I think Uganda, if they watch this video, they will so much appreciate this. So we love you and we'll say God bless Uganda.
Thank you. God bless you too. And thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm going to play some of the videos now for you people to see what the Ugandans have been going through. And I would like us to please come together and see whichever way we can help them. It's terrible. So just...
Whoa. Vamos começar assim! Daí, né?
Welcome back, my people. You can see from that video clip there. I don't want to play. It's quite long, but I just said I should just play that one. You can see people in their homes are just being shot. They've been shot at just like that. The man there just raised his hands up and shouted "People's power," and the next thing he was being gunned down with the lady, beside him, just like that. These are the things that Ugandans are going through, and they need to be free from the grip of the dictatorship. I've got another video here to show you.
The world is watching. So what exactly happened? From this footage recorded by NBS TV, amid Bobi Wine's verbal exchange, his bodyguard, who has now been identified as Ariho Nobat, is seen in the background of Bobi Wine next to this white car. By the time the explosive lands on the car, Nobat is seen smiling and looking away, unaware of what is yet to happen. So if we are to go frame by frame, here is the direction where the explosive came from, fired from a gun. According to security sources that I spoke to but declined to speak on camera, this is a GM2L SAE 820 grenade, an instant tear gas canister produced by the French company Alestex. This grenade has three characteristics when it explodes. It releases tear gas, which causes an intense explosive noise, and the same is seen in this footage. It is at this point of explosion that ASP Kato William, a police officer, mandated with KYAGULANYI's security and KYAGULANYI's close associate, Dan Magic, were injured by the fragments from this explosive. With this evidence presented in the footage recorded by NBS TV, it is clear Ariho Nobat was not in possession of the explosive. The same explosive is seen fired moments later as they take the injured into an ambulance.
How do you push a presidential candidate like that? How? We are not slaves. I'm going with him. I'm going with
Very scared. What? No, but these guys are shooting in front of you. What? Jesus, no, mommy, tear gas.
I've never faced tear
Mommy, have you? Mommy, we can't even die. Mommy, I'm very scared. Mommy, you can't be doing that. Mommy, no. Jesus Christ, please, Lord. No, Mama, what? Mommy, I'm very scared. So help us, God. Mommy, are you sure? Oh my God, Mommy, the whole family is in this car. Mommy, I haven't given birth. Mommy, I haven't given birth. Yo.
You're welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is NHTV, and today we're looking at Uganda. You've seen from the video there how, people in Ugandans are being treated. You can see how the citizens are being treated. That's a presidential candidate. You see how he's been thrown several times, attempted murder on him, how grenades, bullets are flying. It's one of the security men was hit, and another person nearby. They just want to eliminate him. See how he was being arrested. Someone that is not with a gun, just going about talking to people, doing his campaign. Museveni is being threatened by this man, this one-man battalion. Why? What has he got to hide? For crying out loud, that's a presidential candidate, and he's been treated like animals. It's so traumatic to listen to those voices in the video. See the lady with the mom, people on the street walking with guns, shooting people, bringing people down. People are not safe. He brought in people from neighboring countries to come help. People that speak Portuguese and French. They don't understand the language of the people there. How would they communicate? All they hear is go. That's why they just kill people at random. They just kill people. I don't know. African leaders, they need to wake up. And I just got this. I'm going to show you what he, it's a video about the wife. Some days ago, Bobby Wine, the wife of the opposition candidates in Uganda. She was being arrested. She was beaten. She was stripped naked on her way to the campaign rally. Why? Just right in presence of the son. I'm just going to show you a very short clip of that because it's not
and kill me because I'm a pressure cooker. I have won their place. Yeah, but that's even what you have done you. I'm not pushing you. Get a court order to push me around, not arrest me. Do that, make sure the video is gone. We have read.
You see, I just have to end the video there because she was beaten and she was stripped naked by, you see some fellow women there, and some men were also there present, and nobody could stop them. Is it that everyone is living in fear? How could you do that to a fellow woman? What happens if it happens that the husband becomes the president? What will become of these people? Is it that you just do things and people just do things and they don't think? Are they being remote controlled? People are being killed randomly. People just standing in front of their houses. People can't go out again. When you have foreign soldiers in the country, what do you expect them to do? They just kill people. So we need to stand up. Africans need to stand up. Let's don't look, oh, I'm not from Uganda, or I'm not I don't have any family there. No, this is how it starts. We have them like that in other African countries. And if this one is not being taken care of, the other leaders, they're going to see this and like, okay, this person done this and get away with it. I can also do this and go away with it. So this is the right time for us to stop this. This is injustice. And the last video I'm going to show you, it's about that of Bobby Wine. Before the election, or the morning of the election, he made this video. Before they're trying to rob him of is right.
To cast their vote, all of you make sure you come from home and cast your vote. And we encourage them to stay there and guard their vote. Keep your face mask on, maintain social distancing, but keep there and watch all the proceedings. General Museveni has switched off the internet because he wants to keep Uganda and the world in the dark about what's going on. But you can do it because this is your country. This day, I'm even much more glad that he's able to regain his conscience and to understand what's going on. When I heard this morning that he is going to cast his vote, I was so glad. I know that even when I was casting my vote, I was dedicating it to many of our friends that are in hospital, that are in prison, that are dead and buried. Cannot help to think about my brother Nubian Lee, who is my closest friend, who gave me the confidence to take on General Museveni. The feeling that the fact that he's not going to be able to vote for me, the fact that Eddie Mutwe is not able to vote for me, that Dan Magic, that Bobby Young and many other friends are not able to vote for me, it is heartbreaking. But that Ashraf Cassidy is going to be able to cast his ballot, that takes away the sadness. And I know that his vote means quite a lot, not just to me as an individual, but to many comrades that have been brutalized. Finally, we have taken yet another fundamental step.
You're welcome back. That is Robert Yagulani, popularly known as Bobby Wine. That was the morning of the election. Yes, I just want to let you, my audience, know that Uganda has been ruled by three people, since the independence from the British. The first person after the independence was is it Bonte, and then they had the popular Idi Amin. It was after the fall of India Army, they now had Yoweri Museveni, popularly known as M7. And since then, he's been in power for over 35 years, for almost 35 years, and he's not ready to step down. Because Robert Yangulani, if I'm correct, Robert Yangulani, which is popularly known as Bobby Wine, is the one that is giving him a run for the presidential seat, but he's not letting go. Young man has decided, was a musician turned politician, has decided enough is enough. His people are suffering, people are dying, his comrades are being killed every day. And enough is enough. And somebody needs to do this. We can't just every time keep sitting down watching these people. Something needs to be done. The Bible says the kingdom of God did what? Suffered violence. And what happened? Violence taken it by force. If it's violent they need to get this man off that place. The people are suffering. There are lots of videos that I can't, bring to you people. People are suffering. People are dying. They're killing people by the day. Severally, he's been shot at, his cars, the tires have been brought down, his convoys have been, stopped, and they've asked everyone to come out of the car and just left with his own. Even the car he's using for his presidential campaign is being shattered with bullets, holes and everything, but he's still using it. So what is our problem in Africa? What is the problem in Africa? We are the ones. If we don't love ourselves, we don't give ourselves the opportunity to embrace each other, these other people are not going to take us serious. We say Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. We, the blacks, do we love ourselves? We don't love ourselves. You can hear from the video, the lady in the car crying. The voice is there. It's so pathetic. People just being shot at like that. It's terrible. I just don't know. So I just want to say to every one of you, just feel free to share the video, like, comment, share. If you've got a Ugandan friends, send it to them and tell them to contact me on this number. I'll put the number on the screen now. Sorry, I'll put the number on the screen. They should feel free to contact me on this number because there is an organization that wants to look into this and see the way forward for the Ugandans. Please, just share and let them, see what is happening. A lot of people don't know this is what these people are going through. If you see other videos, you're gonna like, hell no, this can't be happening. That is the young man, Bobi Wine. I see him is eloquent, smart, intelligent, and he's a fighter and a very articulated guy. So why can't all Ugandans come together and let this dream come to reality? Enough of this slavery lifestyle from our own leaders, our own people. This is the time to call a spade, and all African countries should come together. And please, because if you say you're not Ugandan or whatever, trust me, we have a lot of Museveni in some African countries. They're doing the same thing. We should let him get away with this, those other ones are going to do the same thing. They're going to emulate him and say, well, Museveni went away with it, so what happens? I can also, get away with it. So please, my brothers and sisters, share this video. Let's sympathize with our Ugandans. Notify. It's me, your girl, and this is Makama's Hangout. And don't forget our PIGIN Online NHTV Reward Season 1. I started today. So what are you waiting for? Start sending in your videos. And those of you that have drop your comments, on our YouTube channel for the free airtime, try and keep your subscription open, not private, so that we can see your comments, because a lot of you have contacted us. So just keep it open, maybe for this period, so that you don't miss out, because we need to see your comments before we can send you the airtime. So till I come your way again, it's me, your girl. Thank you very much for joining me. Let's come together and pray for us, Ugandan's family. Bye. Don't forget, I stand with Ugandans. I stand with Robert KYAGULANYI, popularly known as Bobi Wine. One love, one Africa, one Uganda. Peace.
Nga lwaki bannayuganda mutusosolamu abasajulita bakuma abantu kirabika bulinga yemwe mutta abantu kati mukama yagaba mukama yagera buli kalumu kino ne tukimaliriza mukama yagaba mukama yagera ne bandika lugakalikaterera ndi mubobi waini
Bye. Until I come your way again, it's your girl, Anne. Good night.
Who's coming?